Okay, ready? You can go. Remember, tap whenever you feel uncomfortable.
On the mats of the appropriately named Slaughter Recreational Center at the University of Virginia, a new kind of psychology class is being taught: the psychology and practice of combat sports. Taught by Associate Professor of Psychology Hudson Golino, the course blends academic study with practical experience, combining readings on stress, fear, regulation, and peak performance, breathwork exercises, and most importantly, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But this class is more than a seminar. It is also a research project.
Because remember, the goal is to decrease space for the neck.
Throughout the semester, students log daily moods, attitudes towards their work, and even their feelings about looming midterms and finals. Golino's goal is to use the data to build a more dynamic picture of student experience under pressure. Not just isolated snapshots, but something closer to a moving psychological record of how people change across time.
One more time.
That idea echoes a central theme in his course text, that in combat sports and in psychology more broadly, we often need movies instead of pictures.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
And that is part of what makes combat sports such a compelling study for psychological science. As Golino writes, combat sports are not primarily about violence. They are about behavior under constraint. In other words, what matters is not chaos, but how human beings think, feel, and act when time is short, pressure is high, and another person is actively resisting them. After several weeks of 2.5 hours of jiu-jitsu once a week, college students find themselves in situations that most classrooms could never reproduce. Pinned beneath a training partner, struggling to stay calm, or learning what it feels like to be caught in a rear naked choke.
If you just get desperate and you try to escape, you're gonna be tired.
Using his 2 daughters, jiu-jitsu practitioners themselves, Professor Golino demonstrates 3 things at once.
Very good. Be your turn.
How the technique works, what it feels like to be caught in it, and how the so-called gentle art can be practiced safely by just about anybody. In a sport that can look brutal to outsiders, the lesson: precision, control, and trust. Students then take turns practicing new movements on one another, while Golino and his daughters move throughout the room, adjusting grips, refining posture, and helping sharpen their budding martial arts skills. Then comes live practice, positional games, and rolling. It is in these short rounds that the course's psychological lessons matter most. Breathwork, technique, composure, and self-regulation stop being abstract ideas and become immediate necessities. As the course text puts it, BJJ rewards athletes who can stay calm and keep searching for affordances under pressure. That may be the real lesson of the class, because here, jiu-jitsu is not just a martial art. It becomes a laboratory for studying stress, attention, and adaptation in real time. Put best by Professor Golino, BJJ is not just a sport. It is a system that shapes how people relate to stress, failure, discomfort, and each other.